Max Immelmann is a recently released Tier 10 special CV on the German line. She has a similar hull to the Richthofen, but different fighter or different plane concepting with torpedo planes and skip bombers. They both go out in waves of 4, dealing mostly broadside kind of stuff. As far as upgrades go, just pick the plain one and the plain one. If for some reason you really wanted to get into secondaries, you could also pick Damage Control Party 1 for the extended damage con, taking it from 60 to 84 seconds, which hopefully would be enough time for you to avoid being lit on fire and straight up murdered while you do your secondary duels and strike with planes. For slot 3, there's not a lot of options. You don't need additional attack time on the torpedoes, so it comes down to secondary battery or additional torp speed. Secondary battery being the German gimmick is what I have selected because the secondaries are not bad on the Immelmann. It's the same as the Richthofen. Then for slot 4, additional health and skip bombers. This is your primary armament on this ship, so this is where you will be putting that that slot. For slot 5, this is a little contentious. Flight control mod might be useful for randoms, whereas in a competitive setting, you'd probably want squadron consumable. This will give you additional healing on the torpedoes, which frankly does not matter. Mostly this is going to be for the fighter sort of stuff. It'll give you either prolonged spotting or prolonged defense of an area. If you wanted to, you could also take the concealment system mod, as the plane regen is actually strong enough that you can forgo the flight control mod fairly easily, but the question is if you're going to be able to make use of the concealment over one of the other two options. Slot 6 is pretty much only the flight control mod 2. The faster your planes go, the further the skip bombs can be projected out, therefore plane speed is extremely important. For the commander build, more faster healthier is going to be the basic build. However, I have moved the 3 points from aircraft armor over into plus fire chance. This is because you can see I've invested so heavily into fighters for a competitive build as I'm using the carrier in ranked. Additional bomb speed, once again, the skip bombers, the faster they go, the further the bombs are projected, so this is very important. With the additional points, I have gone into fighters and then 1 point into boost, but if I was less concerned about fighters, perhaps because I was doing randoms, I could look into additional secondary armament. I could look into additional torpedo damage throughput. Although the torps are not amazing, they are still a thing, and the proximity fuse has a small added benefit to the ability to set floods, so that could be something useful as well. As far as aiming talents, I find these not to be useful at all. Same with the heal, it's just too marginal to care about. And you could certainly go into boost talents, as hopefully you'll have some prolonged operations with your skip bombers where you might actually find last gasp to be useful.